also full disclosure, I'm a football guy, so I'm typically betting. I'm typically betting football when it comes to prop bets. And
Mm-hmm.
speaking of football, I'm gonna wrap it all into one. It's a great day.
Oh yeah.
It's a
Oh
great day
yeah.
for the
Start
Cowboys.
start
We
spreading the news, baby.
start spreading
Spreading the
the
news.
news. We
Yeah.
back. Let's ring a bell. Tell them,
Yeah.
hey, tell them we back up.
Hey, look. Hey, but what I'll say about that, because we talked about this kind of off air, bong early in the morning when it was confirmed. I don't think it makes. Um, I'm not yelling Super Bowl for the Cowboys. I'm not doing that. I did tell you, however, that I'm coming with this pulse with the same energy as far as what we talked about when we were talking about Burrow getting his guys in the building. Now you start doing this stuff for Dak Prescott, he got he got to make it happen, or else now, yes, it will be Dak. It's on you.
Okay, and we'll get to that. I don't even want to, because
Legitimately, I'm just saying.
yeah, no, for sure. And I really want to discuss exactly. But let's go through our progressions. We'll talk about OKC. We'll talk about the New York Knicks, and then we'll get to Dallas. That's
Look,
um.
look at Scotty boy.
We don't do this every year. If I'm keeping it funky with you, Scotty boy, the last couple of years I've gone into seasons with a "it is what it is" type of attitude. We win 12 games. I'm okay with that. What are we gonna do in the playoffs? Let's just see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We still, to this day, can't stop the run.
To this day.
We still can't stop the run. But what I can tell you is that when we went 12 wins back to back to back season, 3 seasons in a row, we had a blueprint. We had a cold ass offense and we had pass rushers galore. So all we had to do was get up by a touchdown by 10 points. And now our pass rushers are killing the quarterback and we're not worried about the run. So if we don't address the run game and stopping the run game, I'm okay with having CD Lamb, George Pickens, a young dude who's hungry, thirsting his next contract.
Which is another issue for them.
A,
It's
a
a
dude,
lot. It's a lot we could talk about with this, man.
it's a good thing though. It's a good thing. It's a good motivation to have. And
Will the
I'm also
Cowboys pay him though if he
it doesn't
performs?
matter. Let's live for today. You know what I'm saying? Like this, hey man, this is every inner city in America, man. Fuck tomorrow, man. We living for today. Like, how are we gonna get by today? Mama said she got $15. Hey, um, three, extra value meals in McDonald's. We gonna split that shit 5 ways. But we living for today.
Yeah,
Don't tell me
I
about
respect it.
tell me about next month's rent. We'll
Hey,
worry about next month's
I respect that.
rent.
I
Yeah,
respect that.
you feel me? But I'll tell you this. Guess who his agent is? His agent is Micah's agent, David
Oh,
Mulugeta. All right. David Mulugeta. Remember, if you don't remember, Jerry Jones said when asked about Micah's contract, he don't even know who Micah's agent is.
yeah.
So now you got two players, two big name players
Mm-hmm.
represented by the same guy who you claim you don't even fucking know. Let's see
Okay.
how it plays out. And now
I,
I feel good. I'm okay with whatever y'all want to do. If y'all want to play games with Micah and his contract, and y'all want to run that shit out to the first week of the season, or do whatever that bullshit y'all want to do it. Y'all have made 95% of Cowboys fans shut the fuck up for a minute. We gonna
yeah.
shut up.
It's just a minute.
You know what I'm saying? When
It's just a
Debo come
minute.
around, I be quiet.
Yeah, it's just a minute.
When he leave, I be talking again.
Yeah.
We good, man. Debo, you got us, man. I'm quiet right now.
Hey,
You feel me?
you sound like you just been down and out for a long ass time and you having a good day, so you just living it up. So I
Um,
respect it.
and Deal World again. I didn't even want to get into the Cowboys thing, but I definitely want to address your comment. You said, "Did you like McCarthy? Heard his offense was kind of 2010s, which made him stand out, not in a good way." Okay, Mike McCarthy's offense was definitely dated. 2 years ago, when Dak Prescott made his MVP push and he was a runner up to Lamar Jackson, even though Dak Prescott should have won MVP that year, his numbers were better than Lamar Jackson's across the board. We were getting our ass kicked up and down the field until like week 5 when we played San Francisco and they thoroughly beat the shit out of us. Moving forward from that game, starting with the Chargers and onward, Schottenheimer Schottenheimer started implementing the offense. And that's
Mhm.
when Dak and CD went on their run where CD started blowing up. CD only had the first 5 games, CD didn't do that much.
Mhm.
He had that last like 10, 11 game stretch where him and Dak start cooking and putting up all these historic Cowboys numbers. That's when Schottenheimer started calling the plays. That's why you ask Dak, you ask CD, they want Shotty in the building. They want Shotty calling plays because they know that that's when they were at their best.
Mm. Okay. Well,
So, get what I'm saying? Like, I like Shotty. I like Schottenheimer as the head coach. I like Schottenheimer calling the offense, especially if you're going to give him weapons. So now you can't focus on CD. That year that Dak was should have been MVP, all he had was CD. Everybody knew the ball was getting to CD, was going to CD, and he was still finding ways to get the ball to CD. So now imagine if you can't focus on CD, because if you want to focus on CD, we'll take the top off with Pickens.
okay,
And
then
if you
they better do it. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said they better do it. So all of that shit. No, no,
hold
no,
on.
no. All that shit that you talk about, because you a Dak advocate, which I'm not necessarily saying I'm not, but you are super pro Dak. You're defending Dak
I
all the
am
time. So
every day.
yeah,
Every day.
I'm just telling
Yeah.
you, I'm just telling you
But what I'm
that
saying, you saying,
all of the stuff that you're saying about, if you say, oh man, that Burrow got his guys in the building and all of that stuff, because that's what we were talking about earlier. Okay, now Dak has a legitimate duo of receivers. So what will we say, especially if the running back situation, which they got about 5 guys that they're trying to see who's going to fill in. But if any of those guys work out and they have a solid running game too, and they have Schottenheimer's scheme, which you're praising, and they have given Dak another weapon, so you don't have to focus on CD. If they don't come through, then what will you say about Dak?
so again, when you compare it to Burrow, just understand that Burrow has played with Higgins, he's played with Jamar Chase, and he had a third option for more than 1 year.
And that's moving the goalpost.
No, I'm not moving the goalposts.
Yes,
What
it
I'm
is,
saying
because
is,
I'm asking. The thing was, get him some weapons. That's what you've been saying. They don't do shit. They don't bring in anybody. They don't do anything. We're talking about receivers and how they sat down and let all the receivers go by, all the big name receivers, the playmakers go by because they wouldn't pay him. They didn't want to pay him. So yes,
world.
you get Pickens for this year, right? And you're saying don't look to the future. Okay, whatever. You get Pickens for this year. That we got to look to the future. If you bringing in, oh well, that he hasn't had him for
Okay,
as long as
okay,
Burrow has too, right?
okay. So what I'm saying is this. I'll ask you this question: if the Cowboys win 13 games this year, offense looks dynamic, they make it to the second round of the playoffs, and they lose in a nail biter, is that Dak? You can't get it done.
No, that's not.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm not
I
irrational. You know that. But I'm
if
just
they
telling you, we gotta look at this in the same lens. Like it can't just be because
absolutely,
they
absolutely.
are squad that it's
You
like,
and you know
oh,
and you
Dak
know
that.
when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about how the team is going to look. I think we're gonna win more games than people are giving us credit for.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Dak, the pressure is on you to get it done because you have weapons. What I'm saying is when we get into the playoffs, that's when it needs to be a team effort. I need to see Micah Parsons, who's probably going to be the highest paid non-quarterback by that time. You only have one sack in your NFL playoff career. Yet and still, when people talk about the Cowboy failures, they go and seek out Dak Prescott, and in the classroom, everybody points fingers at him, including Micah. But Micah, what have you done since
What
you've been in the league and made it to the playoffs?
and
You've
then
been
that's what
invisible.
that's what we'll see. If it shifts to the defense, then we'll see that.
It doesn't
Because
matter if the defense
no,
falls short.
I'm saying if it shifts to the deep, if you get the scenario you gave me is that it's a nail biter, and the offense is dynamic, right?
Right.
Then that means you got to have the defense come through too. At some point, if we're really looking at it like fairly looking at it analytically, you are going to look at the defense too.
Hey,
This is a brand
I'm
new
just
shit.
Scotty boy said, hell no, they ain't winning 13 games. I'm
Yeah.
saying hypothetically speaking, like if they win 13 games, that's a success.
And then here's another
Anya,
hypothetical for you before we move on from this.
definitely worth more. Hell yeah. Stop. Nanya. You can't, he's a wide receiver too. What did Higgins just get paid as a wide receiver too? What is Devontae Smith getting paid as a wide receiver too? Like that contract is 20 plus a
Mm-hmm.
year. Now, are the Cowboys willing to pay that? If Higgins comes out and shows you, hey man, I can come out here and give you 1,200 yards, 8 to 9 touchdowns next to CD giving you 15 to 1,600 yards and 12 to 13 touchdowns, and you try and lowball him like that, you're gonna lose him, and that's just bad business. Like if you're gonna
Yeah,
show that you
he ain't gonna want that 3 year
yeah, yeah,
33.
11
He
million a
gonna look
year.
at that shit like nigga, please.
You
No,
said Higgins, but we know you meant Pickens.
No, he
no.
meant Higgins.
Oh, you
What
meant
is
Higgins.
Higgins
Yeah.
from
I thought you said
Cincinnati?
next to I thought you said next to CD.
No,
Oh,
he
oh,
said
I'm
what did
sorry.
Higgins get? No,
Yeah,
I
he
thought
said
he said what did Higgins get paid?
no. He said if Higgins comes out and gets 1,200 yards next to
Oh yeah.
CD.
I'm
Oh,
sorry. I
okay.
meant Higgins when I
Yeah,
Okay.
said
meant Pickens. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So again, Burrow. But hey, you know what? You know what, Deal World? I respect that. And that 33rd ranked defense, right? 33rd out of 32 teams, they didn't make the playoffs. They put up gaudy numbers on offense. They had Chase Brown. He will never get credit. Chase Brown as the running back for the Cincinnati Bengals will never get credit because everybody's talking about how great Burrow is. They had a very, very gaudy offense, but they had a horrendous defense. So
Mhm.
it's all, it all comes together. And it really, I think we have a better defense. We picked up the head coach, Matt Eberflus from
Mhm.
Chicago,
From the
um,
Bears, yep.
as a defensive
And
coordinator.
this ain't his first go round with the Cowboys though.
Yeah, he was
This
the
is a return for
offensive
him.
game. I think he was the offensive game coordinator a few some years back. So he's familiar with the Jones family and how they get down. I think that defense is going to be crazy. The the um, the pass rusher room is stacked once again, and we know that the Cowboys thrive when they have a good pass rush. I think the secondary can be okay, but the pass rush is going to be hellacious, man. The pass rush is going to be hellacious.
Uh-oh.
We'll see.
I was waiting for that word. He's
We'll
bringing
see.
it back out.
The
Hellacious.
hellacious.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
you know, but again, not to get
We'll see.
off topic and talk about the Cowboys. It's night and day how the Cowboys now the Cowboys are intentional with everything they do. This old money, right? This old money. The Cowboys know how to upstage the NBA when they want to,
Mhm.
right? What is it? Wednesday morning, the deal gets done before any ESPN or Fox Sports show starts, so everybody will have a full day to talk about it.
Mhm.
But when they brought in Schottenheimer, they knew that the fan base was not feeling it. It happened on Friday night at 7 o'clock. Everything's done. Stephen A's done. All the Fox Sports guys are done. They let that
Mhm.
one fly under the radar, and you got the weekend to kind of stew in it. So by Monday, it's stepped on with whatever's going on. I think it was the Super Bowl or something like that. Cowboys, y'all motherfuckers ain't slick, man. Jerry Jones, that's that old dog, old trick. I've seen that trick 1,000 times, but
Mhm. All
we
right.
here now.
Well, You know.
And I'm gonna shut the fuck up until further notice.
Well, now that we don't have to, well, as you said before, Jerry Jones has been panhandling and penny pinching and getting money for dudes' contracts. So maybe now we can move on to the panhandle with state over and get back to this
Hey.
OKC situation.
Nah, hold on. Fuck that. Engineer, you talking about Dak is literally the franchise quarterback line.
Oh.
He's nowhere near Burrow. Stop. And I can't accept that. Burrow has never had less than 2 number 1 wide receivers in his NFL career. I wanted to see him without Higgins this year. I want to see him without Higgins. And he went to the front office and said, hey, listen, man, I got a reputation to keep up. You better bring Higgins back. And they damn sure did. So we will never see what Burrow is until Burrow has to do it with one guy. If it's Burrow, one guy and a bunch of slaps, and Burrow can still get out there and get it done, then talk to me about how great Burrow is. Burrow ain't shit, but he's a part of the program. He's part of the program. I'm not, no. And again, Kev, I didn't mean it to say like Burrow's not a good quarterback. I'm saying that we don't know if Burrow's a really good quarterback. We know
I
that
get what you're saying.
Burrow has a lot of weapons.
Yeah, given the weapons he has.
Given the weapons he has, he's shown up. He's never not had weapons. Who was the third guy that they couldn't pay? So then they had to go down to just Chase and Higgins. It was a third one that they couldn't pay. He had 3 top-tier receivers when he came in the league.
Yeah.
It was a third one that they couldn't pay. They couldn't pay all 3. That's why, and I was thinking they couldn't pay 2. But let's not talk like Burrow was out there. If you want to talk about guys that are clearly above the average line, Patrick Mahomes is number 1. He's done it with everybody. He's done it with nobody. He brought Juju Smith-Schuster.
Tyler Boyd, right?
Yeah, I was waiting for him to take a breath so I could say it.
Yeah.
You talk about the all-star do it with nobody team. It's Patrick Mahomes as a pure thrower of the football, and the other 2 guys that are do it all with no weapons are guys that incorporate the run in their game, and that's Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Those 2 don't need to have top-tier receivers because guys get open because of the threat of the run. So you have one pure quarterback that can do it with nobody, that you can literally line up guys that are trying out for an NFL team, and you can put them on the Kansas City Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes will find a way to get it done. There's one guy that can do it. Name another guy, not named Lamar Jackson, not named Josh Allen, that can do it with no weapons. Matthew Stafford, who they're saying is a Hall of Fame quarterback, never won a playoff game before he came to the Rams. Now they're saying he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Oh, why? How so? Oh, he had Puka Nacua and he had Cooper Kupp.
Hey man,
he was still putting up numbers.
Rams slander.
Because he had Megatron. He
had
Megatron.
Right.
Okay,
Megatron literally.
Detroit.
Go ahead.
Megatron literally what?
Talk about him when he's in Detroit, but when he's in LA, we're not talking about him.
No,
he was still putting up numbers in Detroit.
I said no. I said in Detroit, Matthew Stafford, listen to what I'm telling you guys. Never won a playoff game.
Correct.
I don't give a fuck what his numbers are.
It's not, I'm saying you're making it. He already showed ability though. He showed the capability. That's why the Rams went after him in the first place. So it wasn't like Matthew Stafford was trash. That's what I'm saying. You ain't talking about Dan Orlovsky who's running out the back of the fucking end zone. You talking about Matthew Stafford.
Dan Orlovsky is a career backup.
Right, but I'm saying as you have identified, let's identify talent too. Matthew Stafford is a talented quarterback. That's why the Rams made the trade to get him. It paid off. He won a Super Bowl. I mean what are we saying about Stafford?
Yeah,
yes, he didn't win the playoff game. I get it.
We said that Stafford had Megatron, who at times was 2 receivers. Megatron will come out and give you 250. Will come out and give you 300 in a game.
True.
Okay,
True.
so
just the organization itself, the Lions, goddamn, like they weren't shit until the past 3 years.
What I'm telling you is, if we being honest with ourselves, the Dallas Cowboys ain't shit. Dallas Cowboys
haven't done shit either.
They haven't been 30 years. But every time we talk about Dak Prescott, we don't give him that respect. Look at Dak's numbers against the greats in his career. He stacks up with
the
Patrick
general
Mahomes.
the general media doesn't. I agree with you. You yelling like I'm disagreeing with you.
No,
I
I'm
agree with you, nigga. I'm just telling you all of this energy that you got and this shit have the same shit. If it doesn't go right, you need to call a spade
and
because
say
now
what?
they're making
It didn't go right.
they're making moves with Dak Prescott. That's what I'm
What I'm
saying.
oh, no.
What
Cut
you
that shit
mean
out,
no?
Kev.
What do you mean no? What do you
Listen,
mean no? How was you
there's a
not?
difference. There's a difference. Stop, man. Stop, Scotty boy. That's slander. And you know what? it's not even disrespect, depending on which Russell Westbrook you're talking about. DP talking about they making moves with Dak Prescott.
I'm
I
taking
said
that.
they're
Cowboys,
making moves. Period.
I know.
I'm
Oh,
taking
oh.
that.
Listen,
They
Dak
have
Prescott
addressed.
goes
They
up.
have addressed the
He
O
doesn't get
line.
any
They
respect.
hold on. They addressed the O line, right? They addressed the O line. 2 O linemen. The guard Booker from Alabama. They're expecting big things from him. They also got old boy from Oregon. So they've addressed the O line. Protection is there. You know you needed to do that because you had vets going out the game. So they did that. They drafted a running back, Blue. He should be solid. We'll see. You don't know. They got a couple vets that they're trying to make put in the mix to see if they'll work as well. They also got the undrafted free agent from Clemson. So they're trying to address the running back position. Now they address the receiver position. They also address the cornerback position because you got I'm slipping my mind, but our top corner shit
Vaughn,
is
Vaughn
yeah,
from
yeah,
Eastern Carolina.
he's in no
Oh, you talking about Bland?
no.
Who?
I'm why the fuck can't I think of the motherfucker's name? Anyway, he's got to get surgery again.
Oh,
Uh,
Diggs.
Diggs. Why the
Okay.
fuck am I brain fart? Diggs has to get surgery again, so he may not even be ready. That's why you go and get the cornerback from East Carolina. So you're addressing all these things. It's not like that this is the only thing that has happened. I said for the first time, I was like, shit, I can't even really be mad about the draft. I wasn't really
So
mad about it.
I'm just saying, I want to address what you said. You said they're making moves. The Cowboys made a move. Okay.
So everything that I just
Hold on,
said
DP.
is
Hold on.
nothing.
No.
That's it.
Listen to what I'm saying. No,
This
but hear
sometimes
me.
it's irrational to just be
No.
like,
But what I'm saying is,
I'm a
hear me
listen.
out, DP.
I'm
Hear me
gonna hear
out.
you.
The Cowboys, the reason they have been mediocre is because they're great at drafting. They've always been great at drafting. So much so that they lean heavily on the draft. Like all 7 rounds of picks have to come out and go and play in year 1 and hit in year 1. That's irrational. The Cowboys were able to find a loophole and find a rookie wide receiver on a rookie deal who we're literally discussing 5 minutes ago if he's a rental because they won't pay him. The
Right.
Cowboys don't spend money. So when you're talking about teams that are good, we judge Dak Prescott through a different lens. We judge him through a lens like he's playing for the Philadelphia Eagles, like he's playing for the Detroit Lions, who have revamped their franchise to be a tier 1 franchise. We're not that.
But the
So
funny thing
why
is,
don't we judge him?
everything you
Because
say,
that's
no. Every single thing you say keeps coming back to Dak Prescott. You're the one
no.
that's put no, it does. It does. And you're the one that's putting the spotlight on Dak Prescott. It is irrational to say that they haven't made any moves. Was Bland hold on. Was Bland there? Was Bland there or is he coming back now? Like it's not just the draft. Yes, the draft is addressing things, but it's not the only thing that's happened. That's all I'm saying. Like they're doing things that are addressing issues that we talk about offline. And to say
So
that, oh, they only made one move,
so
I mean
okay.
that's I can't rock with that, man.
I'm going to ask you one thing. Draft aside, what free agent or trade moves have
They
the
didn't
Cowboys?
do anything in the free agent.
I'm
They
just
didn't do anything in free
I'm
agency.
asking you a question. I'm
Did
not
you
even.
hear what I said? They
Okay.
didn't do anything in free agency. You and I were sitting like the Cowboys have done nothing. They're just sitting down in free agency. They're letting all the receivers pass them by and all that stuff. That was the main thing we were talking about was receiver and running back.
Hey,
So they went in free
engineer,
agent. They went in free agency, and they got the 2 running backs.
that are
So
journeyman running
we will
backs.
we will see what happens. We will
Again,
see what
you hear
happens.
what I'm saying? Last year they could have got a no doubt about it. Derrick Henry,
But they
we passed
didn't.
on him.
And I'm not
DP,
arguing with
let me
you
get
with
my
that, man.
let me get my point across
You've got a
and let
lot of them across,
and
dog.
no, and let you understand that we're talking from the same place. I'm just not willing to put the pressure on Dak when the organization itself is the Detroit Lions
But
of
you're doing
Matt
that.
Stafford.
But you're
I'm
doing that if
not. I'm
every time I say something or
not. At least
anybody
get my
says something, it comes back to Dak Prescott.
because the
It does.
comments
You're the one who keeps talking about Dak Prescott. So who's putting the pressure on him? You.
DP. I'm literally responding to the comments that are talking about Dak Prescott. I came in here as a happy. Hold on,
Every
just
time I say
let me
something
hold on,
about they've done this,
hold
you're
on, just
saying, oh, they didn't make moves
no,
to
no,
Dak
no, no, no,
Prescott.
no, 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 no. I came in as a happy Cowboy fan when we started the stream. Look at the comments. Don't forget me and your conversation. Just
But
read
we're
the
talking.
comments.
So what am I supposed to do?
What I'm
Not
saying
listen to
is,
what you're saying? We're
but
talking.
I'm not addressing you. I'm addressing the comments. I'm addressing hold on,
No, you're
DP.
not, dog.
I,
You gotta okay. I'm not gonna say nothing else. I'm gonna let you do your
DP.
thing because you're not
I was talking
okay.
the first thing that
Okay.
listen, hold on. We were ready to move back to basketball, and I
And
saw engineers
we
comment.
should have.
I saw okay. Everybody in the comments is talking about how Dak Prescott stinks and he's not that good. And what I'm trying to tell them, not you, DP, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the comments. The Cowboys are basically the Detroit Lions, who's everybody is saying, hey, man, you got to give Matt Stafford a pass because he played for the poverty. He played for look. Thank you, Kev. Just continue, KP. Just continue to post the comments from the comment section. Not DP. I'm not talking to you, DP. I'm talking to the comments that keep bashing him because that's what the national sentiment is about Dak Prescott. That the Cowboys are the Eagles or the Cowboys are the new Lions, and they're giving him all this help, and this motherfucker just keeps falling short. And that's not the case. I'm asking you, who did the Cowboys pick up? What big splash did the Cowboys make this offseason? And the only big splash is George Pickens on a rookie deal in the last year of his deal. And we are literally talking with the chat, and they're saying that he's a one-year rental because why? The Cowboys won't even pay him if he produces. Everybody knows it's the Cowboys, but somehow Dak Prescott wears the crown as the motherfucker. That's the reason. That's my motherfucking point, and it's gonna always be my point because the Cowboys fucking suck. I'll take a deep breath. Let's get back to basketball. I'm not arguing. DP, we literally saying the same things,
Yeah.
but the front office
It's,
got the fan base just like us, doing exactly what we do, so that they can continue to sit back on the yachts, making billions off of us while we fight over whether Dak Prescott is good enough or not. Dak Prescott for $60 million. I told you, he's worth every dollar because he will always be the scapegoat when we lose. Micah could have the worst playoff game of his career, and we will still point to Dak Prescott. I can tell you plenty of games where we lost playoff games that Dak Prescott played good in, but the Cowboys defense gave up 291 rushing yards to the Rams. The Cowboys against Green Bay gave up touchdowns on 6 of the first 7 offensive drives for Green Bay. But it's Dak Prescott's fault. It always is. Nobody's talking about how many yards Diggs gave up. Nobody's talking about the fact that Micah Parsons didn't have a sack. It's Dak Prescott. Dak, well,
So,
thank you, KP. I appreciate it. Thank you.
so Bong just went on this rant and did a really good impression of T.O. when he was talking about Tony Romo in the playoffs. Don't talk about my quarterback.
My quarterback, man.
Shout out to Bong for having his quarterbacks back. So
I appreciate you highlighting the comments, KP.
yeah, if there's anybody that knows Dak Prescott out there, let them know Bong has his back.
Off the top, man. Off the top. We'll talk about it later. DP, we'll talk about it later.
I ain't saying nothing else about it. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting till you're done, man.
You feel me?
Because every time I
Feel
was
me?
saying something, it was fuck that, fuck that. Okay.
No,
So
I'm not.
fuck it.
I'm saying we on the same page, DP.
I actually literally said that like in the middle of your rant.